4 of the business and entrepreneur class that we have been doing for the last week. And in every class, what we do very quickly is a recollection of what we have done so far. So, do you remember what was the first class about?
Profit.
No, it was about profit, but what was the first thing?
Finding a problem, solving it, and then making a business.
Exactly. So you find a problem, right? You find a solution, and you create a business, right? And then, that's true, Isabella, we look at profits, right? The second class was about?
Banking.
It was going to the bank, do you remember? So it was about when you have a business and you have started your business, you want to get some money, so you have to go to somebody and say, hey, can you lend me some money so that we can grow our business? So you went to the bank, and we talked about loans, you remember? Mm-hmm. We learned about savings, we learned about interests, yeah? And we said that everything was a circle, so people get money from the bank, and the bank can pay them the money to people that have savings, right? And it's the right thing to do. Then the third thing that we did was about
the
problems. So how can business go wrong? You remember? Mm-hmm. So we said businesses may go wrong, yeah? And then we look at 2 factors. So we look at internal factors, yeah? And we look at external factors. And on internal factors, we said that it was because people were disorganized, it was because people didn't have new products, it was because people put the prices up and nobody wanted them. And then on external ones, we said, oh, it may be because of the coronavirus. Mm-hmm. It may be because there are competitors and the competitors do something better than we do. Or it may be because people don't have money, so they cannot spend money. So we talked about the economy and we talked about everything else. And then today, so this is today's class, we are going to talk about rents, right? And we're going to take about mortgages, okay? And what we have said is, imagine that you have created your business. So you have thought, oh, I got a great idea, my business is doing really well. So you have started your business, but you don't have space in your house. So you're going to say, I need to go and buy a shop or a warehouse where I can do my business. So you're going to have to think about, can I buy somewhere? Okay, so can I buy anywhere? So you're going to buy something, or are you going to rent something? And what do you think that is the difference between rent and buying? So anybody has an idea? Isabella?
So renting is when someone else owns the property and you're paying them like every month.
Okay, so someone
to
else
keep it.
Someone else has it.
And buy, say like for a mortgage, is you've bought something, but you're paying it back over a space of time.
You bought it, but you have to have a mortgage.
So you pay it back over a month.
And you know what a mortgage is? How does a mortgage work? Or Sophia?
Don't you buy something, but then you have to mortgage it?
Exactly. So imagine that you're going to buy a shop. So you go and you really like this lovely warehouse where you're going to put your business. So you have this really nice factory that is going to be called your shop. And you're going to, imagine you sell cupcakes, and then you're going to put all your machines and you're going to, bake all the time. You need a mortgage. So you go, again, we're going to go back to the bank. Yes? Remember the bank? And you say, Mr. Bank Manager, I'm doing so well, I'm doing loads of cupcakes, and they're buying me all these cupcakes, but I don't have space anymore at home, so I need to buy this lovely warehouse, but I need money. And imagine that this warehouse is going to cost you $1 million, right? It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, okay? So we say to the bank, the person that is selling it wants me to pay them $1 million, but I know that I can pay it back. I know that if I buy it, I can pay you back all the money that is needed so that, I can repay the money you lend me. So the bank manager will look at do you remember what we did before? when you ask for a loan, do you remember what was it called? You got a business plan. When you tell them how much money you're making and your profits.
No.
It was a business plan. So you went to the bank and you said, this is my business plan. This is how much money I'm making. So I am going to, be able to pay you back. So the bank will look at that and say, oh, well, Sophia, you have a great business. So I'm going to let you have £1 million, right? And every month you are going to have to pay me back the money. And how long do you think that the bank is going to allow you to pay that for? Because it's so much money. How much?
It's a few years.
A few years. So hopefully the bank is going to say to you, okay, you're going to have 20 years to pay the mortgage. Okay? So it's a long time. It's a very long time. So every year you're going to have to pay quite a lot of money, because at the end of that you're going to have to pay 1 million. So when you start you have to pay 0. By the end you're going to pay 1 million. Okay? But the bank is not going to ask you just for 1 million, aren't they? Because that's what the money they are giving you. And they have to make money. So how much will they charge you? They're going to charge you on top of the money they give you. What are they going to charge you?
Maybe 1 point, like 1 or 2. Maybe.
Well, they're going to charge you interests. So they are going to say to you, on top of the money that we give you, we are going to charge you an interest rate. That's what they say to you. So it means that we're going to charge you a percentage of interest that you have to pay us on top of that. So usually that interest, it depends on the national bank. So it's a national bank. You know what the name of the national bank is in the UK? It's called the Bank of England. And the Bank of England will say, if anybody wants to borrow money, there is a base rate, and that base rate is, say that is 1%. At the moment, you know what it is? It's 0.01%, is the lowest that it has ever been because of the coronavirus. But say that for this example, you have to pay 1% interest rate. But the bank also wants to make money. So the bank says, that's the base rate, and we're going to charge you more. We're going to say, we're going to charge you 2%, so 1% over the Bank of England. So what they'll say is, we'll lend you £1 million, but you're going to have to pay us interest of 2%, okay, on that £1 million. So when you make a payment to the bank, you're going to pay them something that is called the interest, i.e. how much they're charging you, but you're also repaying the money, so that every month you owe you a little bit less of that million, until you get to 0 and you have to pay $1 million. Okay? What happens if you cannot pay the mortgage? What do you think the bank will do? Sophia?
You have to pay them.
Okay, yeah, you have to pay them, but what happens if you don't pay them? Isabella?
Do you not lose it, but does it get offered to other people?
No, so the bank...
Do you rent it?
No, so what will happen is that the bank will say to you, Sophia, you promised me and your business was very good, but you're not paying the mortgage. And if you don't pay the mortgage, you're going to lose your property. We're going to take it away from you. We're going to say, Sophia, I'm so sorry, but your business is not very good, so we have to take it. So if we go back to the start of the first lessons, do you remember when we were back in the first lessons and what we said that it was in, what did you say? What did we say that we needed to check to see if we made a profit? So what did we say? We said
our costs.
Our costs, exactly. So we will have our costs, right? And we have a new cost now, don't we? We have a new cost that is called a mortgage. So that is also going to be part of our costs. And we have the selling price, don't we?
So you want the profit to go up.
So you need the selling price to go up to be able to continue doing profit, right? Because do you think that you can sell things more expensively to make more profit, or what can you do to make your profits higher? Because now you have to pay for a mortgage.
You can make your costs higher.
You have to make your cost lower, because you need a cost lower, but there are costs that you may not be able to get lower because you already are paying your employees and you're already paying people. What can you do to make your profits higher? Because you need to make more profits because now you have to pay a mortgage. What can you do?
Like using the same materials and stuff and create a new thing that's a
So
bit
you can
higher.
create new products. Okay, so you can create new products. You may need to make more products because now you have a bigger warehouse. So if before you were making 100 cakes, hopefully you're now making 1,000 cakes. So when you went to the bank and said, I want more money, you would have said to the bank, because I'm having a bigger warehouse, I can now sell a lot more cakes and that way I'm going to make more profit. Do you think that you can put your price up? What happens if you put your price up per cupcake?
People then start not selling in, so you make cheaper.
Exactly. So what we saw yesterday, so you could think very quickly. People may think, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make more profits, and the only way to make more profits is to put the sale price up. But that's not good because people will say, Sophia, that cupcakes are too expensive. I go somewhere else. You know, there are better cupcakes and they're selling it cheaper. Why will I buy them from you? I'll go somewhere else. So that's why you cannot always put the price up. You always have to think about it. And yesterday, when we were talking about when business go wrong, one of the things that we saw is that if you put your prices up and if you get it wrong, your business may not do very well. So that's the same concept of the mortgage. You have to make sure that you pay it, otherwise they take it back from you. But what are the benefits of having a mortgage? What do you think that is a really good things about having a mortgage?
Well, you know that unless you you really can't pay it, you know that that's your house, like your property.
Exactly. So you know that after 20 years, you're going to have an asset. That's what it's called. It's called an asset. When you have something that has a value, you know that it's yours, and you know that you are building something that is going to last for a long time and is an asset, and that you, for a long time, is going to be yours. The second thing is that you have control. You don't have anybody that are going to tell you, hey, Isabella, you have to leave the building because we want to give it to somebody else. So you know that it's your property.
You won't have people like putting more money for the building than yours and then having to... So like say someone else puts an offer for the rent, like 1,000 a month and you're only paying 100 a month,
Yep.
Then they will get it straight away and you've got nowhere.
Exactly. There are other good things behind your building. You may be able to grow more. So you may be able to put more things inside and change it without having to ask permission. So it's really good to have your own building if you can get one. Okay? Now, some people don't like to buy something. Some people think, because I just started a business and I don't know how it's going to be, and I still don't have a lot of money that I can give as a deposit, because when you ask for a mortgage, you usually have to have some money that you can pay as a deposit. You remember in the second class that we said, after a little while that you have been selling, if you have been doing well, you keep some of the money, and with that money you can buy things, or you can keep it as a deposit. So that money, that for the mortgage, you can keep it as a deposit and give it. But some people don't have that money, because they don't have enough money yet to put a deposit. So they have to go and rent.
What's a good starting price for your business?
That's very difficult. All businesses are different. So there are businesses that have little price, and there are businesses that have big price, but most businesses start with absolutely nothing, right? So if you start a cake company, all what you do is you go and buy some flour and some eggs, then you do some cakes, you sell them all, and then you start building and building, but it takes a very long time to do a business. But think that you have a rent. So if you want to rent somewhere, what do you think that you need to do? Isabella?
As in what do you do for a rent?
Yeah, if you wanted to rent something, so you think, okay, my business is growing, I cannot buy or I don't want to buy, so I want to rent. Where would you go?
You need to look for a property that's someone that will discuss a good price with you to be able to have it for months.
So you have to, first of all, you have to find a nice property that's going to help you. The second one is, because you want to make sure that you have it for a little while, you're going to go and find a property that they're going to let you stay for some time, because otherwise if they kick you out after a few months, your business is going to have problems. Imagine if you have a cupcake company and everybody knows that cake company is there, and from then they turn around and say, you have to go, you will lose all your customers. Sophia?
What if you had a business and you didn't have another job, like if it was the cupcake one?
Yes.
Then if you opened and then no one came to your store, how would you get money to buy the mortgage and rent?
You
because
don't have
the
anything.
shop?
Your business will fail, and then you have to start another business. So you always have to think about how you're going to do well. So you always have to make sure that your business always do well, and that's why it's so important to have new ideas. You remember yesterday that we were saying, if I have a business, some of the problems is that people don't think in new ideas, and that's why you always have to think in new ideas, because the business always works if you have new ideas and if you do new things. But okay, so you go to rent, and what you have to remember of a rent is that there is a little lady or a little man, and the little lady and the little man will be the owners of the building, because somebody will own the building, right? And they will be, do you know what the name of them are? The people that own the building? They are called landlords. Okay? So they are the owners of the building. And the likelihood is that they have a mortgage, okay? Because a lot of people are landlords also have mortgages. And then you're going to come in, and you know what the name will be when you rent? You know what the name is when you rent? You're called a tenant. Okay? So you enter into a tenancy agreement with them. Isabella?
Will your rent be part of their mortgage that they're paying?
Yes, exactly. That's a really good thing. So just remember, so the landlord will have a mortgage with the bank, okay? And they have to pay money to the bank for the mortgage. And they give them a mortgage. And then what the landlords do is they rent their property to your tenants. And with the money you pay them, they will pay
So
the mortgage.
You're paying out their mortgage for them.
That's exactly. So that's why a mortgage is better, because if you had to be able to buy your own factory, you'll be able to just pay something for yourself. Well, in here, you're paying rent, and with the rent, you're not buying the asset. Can you see the difference between the two of them? In this one, after 20 years, you'll have your asset, don't you? The factory becomes your.
Yeah.
If you rent, what happens after 20 years?
That's not yours anymore.
You don't have anything. After 20 years, all what you have been paying is rent. So ideally what you want to have is you want to have a property. Do you think tell me why you think that renting is better than having a mortgage? Can you see anything that is good about renting than having a mortgage? Isabella?
It's less money.
It's less money, so there are benefits. So the benefit is less money, okay? The other one is you don't have to have a deposit, okay? As big as the mortgage. The other one is when you have a mortgage and you have an asset, the price of the property can go down. Okay, so if you have a crisis, if there are financial crisis, you can buy this for $1 million. But if we have an economic crisis, like in 2007, what you bought for $1 million may only be worth 500,000 because it loses the cost. If you're renting, it doesn't matter to you because you haven't lost anything. So, you don't suffer here from an economic crisis because you only pay a rent. But why do you think that, what are the negatives? And we already saw one of the negatives. What are the negatives?
You're not actually owning it, so you can lose it.
Exactly, so you don't own it. Sophia? You think of anything that is bad?
That compared to mortgages, that they're always yours,
Yeah.
compared to renting, they're not always yours. It's because after 20 years.
Exactly, so after 20 years you don't have an asset. The other one is that the landlord can tell you to go, so you don't have control of how long you can stay. Okay, so less control. Isabella?
Would they be able to put the price up whenever they like?
Exactly, so the landlord can say, you're doing very well and I need more money, so I'm going to put the rent up. So that's quite difficult because then you have to pay more rent. On a mortgage you may have to pay more if the Bank of England changes the interest rates. But in here, you have a little bit more, more control. So that is the difference between having a mortgage and having a rent. So there are a big difference between the two of them, okay? And that's why it's so important. So all what we have done today is to look at the business is growing. We're thinking about whether we can buy something and then have a mortgage or where we're going to rent. Tomorrow, we're going to do something a little bit more exciting, and is thinking about you need to employ some people. You need to get some people to work with you. and we're going to think tomorrow about if we need people to work with us, what are we going to do, and what kind of people we want to get, and how do we build a team, and what do we do when we build a team, how do we build a team, and what people do we want. Okay, and that's really exciting because entrepreneurship and business is about teams and people and working with our people. Is that good?
Yeah.
Right, see you tomorrow.
Thank
Do
you.
you have any homework?
Okay, the homework is, if you were going to recruit some people, what people would you recruit? So what